competition. It's 10 teams, 10 companies who are trying to build the fastest car in the world. That's what it's all about. So you can say, yeah, but there's a drag race car that is quick in a straight line. True. But to any racing track that we're coming, these cars are the fastest cars in the world. So out of these 10 teams, as a very small and elite club, obviously, we are one of them. So Scuderia AlphaTauri, as you said correctly already, we belong to Red Bull. So Mr. Mateschitz, the founder of Red Bull, he had two big passions. And a little bit of a third one, I'll come to in a second. But the two one were motorsports and planes. And he's got a big collection of planes, or he had, because unfortunately he died last year. He's got a big collection of planes, but the other big thing he did, of course, was investing in motorsports. So he started as a sponsor in Formula One, but at some point he was like, no, come on, I'm not a sponsor, I want to run a team. And what he did is he bought another team, which was back then the Jaguar Formula One team, and he made it Red Bull Racing. And 1 year later he said, no, that's not enough, I need a second team. I mean, that's quite ballsy. If you're a billionaire, you say, I need 2 Formula One teams. And he said, I need another team. Why do I need another team? Because if you go into Formula One, you start in go-karting, Formula 4, Formula 3, Formula 2, and then you eventually step into Formula 1. And the step from Formula 2 into Formula 1 is such a big leap that the driver is saying it's as big of a leap as going from go-karting into Formula 4. It's Daniel Ricciardo once said to me, it's not even on the same planet, it's in a different universe, because everything is just so much quicker. So the problem you have is Red Bull has the most renowned young driver academy. That means that they're sponsoring young talents and they're taking them through all the go-karting, Formula 4, Formula 3, etc. And at some point eventually, if they win Formula 2, they go into Formula 1. But if they go into Formula 1, Red Bull says we need another team to develop these young drivers, to make them ready to win the World Championships. And that's exactly why we were both. So we were founded then as Scuderia Toro Rosso, which is just Red Bull in Italian, Toro Rosso. And again, the idea was to develop these young drivers. And I think we did an okay job so far, because almost half of the current grid started with our team, including current 2-time world champion Max Verstappen, 4-time world champion Sebastian Vettel, Daniel Ricciardo, Carlos Sainz. All of these guys started with our team. So that's basically what we are there for. However, 4 years ago, we said, okay, actually, that's cool, that's fine, that's great. But marketing-wise, that's not so attractive, because you're Toro Rosso, you're Red Bull, you're a bit like, the second thing, not the real thing. So what we then did is we rebranded ourselves to Scuderia AlphaTauri. But I mean, what the hell is AlphaTauri? This is the third passion and the third idea of Mr. Mateschitz, the founder of Red Bull. He said, look, I want to make an own fashion brand. And everybody's like, why? I mean, you're making drinks. Like, what do you know about fashion? He's like, I don't know anything about fashion, maybe, but I can get the best people, and I want to disrupt this market as much as I did with the drinks market. And that's why he founded AlphaTauri, which is, again, obviously, as you can see on me, beautiful fashion. So we have it's a new fashion brand, looking at you. It's a brand new fashion brand. Of course, I mean, it's a difficult market to break in, but say, hey, look, we've got 2 Formula 1 teams. We've got Red Bull Racing, of course, which is promoting Red Bull, but we've got a second team, and we want to promote the fashion brand. And that's exactly why we rebrand ourselves to Scuderia AlphaTauri, being basically a lifestyle hub in Formula 1. But again, what we didn't lost is our DNA, basically, to develop these young drivers. So at the moment, we have Yuki Tsunoda. It's the only Japanese driver on the grid. If you watch Formula 1, you will recognize him by his, let's say, he likes to say what he's thinking on the radio. So you can hear some beeps on the radio because he's very emotional. And the second one is Nick de Vries, a young Dutchman who's got also a very, very interesting career, because he made all the way through Formula 2, he won Formula 2, then he went actually to Formula E, which is like an electric racing car series, and then he came into Formula 1. So 2 really, really exciting drivers. And that's basically a little bit to round up about our team. And as I said earlier, so what it's all about is these 10 teams trying to create the fastest cars in the world. And what people underestimate often is how many people are needed to make this happen. So, I mean, if you can have a guess, how many people do you think is working in a Formula 1 team? Some people might think 60, some people say 100, some people say 200. We are a mid-tier team, and we employ 600 people. So there's 600 people working day in, day out, 365 days a year. And when I say 365 days, I mean it, because you can come Christmas Eve and the machines will be running to create the fastest car in the world, build it twice, and then go in 23 countries around the world every single year. And that's exactly what makes Formula One so special, because you have the FIFA World Cup, amazing, football, everyone loves football. It's every 4 years. You've got the Olympic Games, huge global, of course, attention. It's every 4 years. You've got then the Super Bowl, but it's always played in America. It has around 90, maybe 100 million viewers. We have around 83 million viewers every weekend we're racing. So we have basically a Super Bowl every second weekend. And again, in 23 countries around the world. So it's truly, truly global. And that's what makes Formula One really, really special. And now, this week we are in Miami. That's pretty cool.
This is fantastic, because I gotta tell you, a lot of stuff he said I didn't know. You know why? Because I'm never paying attention.
Thanks. Great. I wasn't talking to you.
I didn't know 600 people. Oh my God, who wants to be a 601 employee?
We can use them.
We have a lot of people that want to join the Formula One team.
Yeah.
So this is a great summary of what Formula One is all about. AlphaTauri team.